When we have a system, we need to look at what's the most efficient way to do it. Now, if both of these were y equals, I would go straight to Desmos and graph it. But since they're not y equals, I am going to do substitution. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, y equals all of this stuff right here. So if y equals all this stuff, I can put it right here in place of y. So let's write that. I have 7x minus 6, but now instead of writing y, I'm going to go up here and write all of this because y equals this, doesn't it? Negative 3x minus 22, and I close it up because that's the end of y, equals 7. Now at that point, all I'm going to do is solve, because that's all that's left to do is solve. 7x, a negative times a negative is a positive 18x, a negative times a negative is a positive 132 is equal to 7, right? I'm going to join these two together. So what is that? 25x plus 132 equals 7. And then I'm going to move 132 over here. I have 25x is equal to, I don't want to make a mistake, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. Negative 125. And then the last step, divide both sides by 25. So x is equal to, what's that, 5, negative 5. Now, how do I solve for y? Well, the easiest thing to do is I have a y equals equation right here, so how about I just put it in? Y equals negative 3. Instead of x, what am I going to put? Negative 5 minus 22. So that looks like it's about negative 7. So y equals negative 7. Now, one thing I want you to start thinking about is the answer is a point. It's a point where these two lines cross, isn't it? It's a point, and a point looks like this. It has parentheses, it has an x, it has a y, and so this is negative 5, negative 7. That's the answer to this problem. It's a point. So again, this one is already set up as a y equals right here. So the most efficient way would be to put it right here where y is. Now, as you're looking at this, what you might want to do is think about there's a 1 sitting right here, and we're going to see it in just a minute. All right, so let's start building our new equation. Negative 3x minus, now what am I going to put instead of y? I'm going to put all of this stuff that is the same thing as y. So negative 2x plus 3, and then I'm going to close it up, equals negative 7. And now it's just a solving equations. Negative 3x, negative is a positive 2x. Now remember, this is a negative 1. If that helps, go ahead and draw it. So a negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2x. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. I'm going to join these two together. That's negative 1x minus 3 equals negative 7. I'm going to move the negative 3 over here. That'll be positive 3. So negative 1x is equal to negative 4. I still have something sitting in front of x, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, negative 1. X equals 4. How do I find y. I simply put my x into this equation. So now I have y equals, I'm going to put a -2, and instead of writing x, I'm going to write 4. Now y is going to equal -8 plus 3, so y is going to equal -5. And remember, this is a point, and a point is represented by an x and a y. Alright, our third problem. Again, we see the y equals. If there were 2 of them, we would just go to Desmos and graph it. There's not 2 of them, so let's substitute in for this y right there. So I'll start my new equation, 2x minus 3. Now instead of writing y, I'm going to write all of this stuff. I'm going to write 3x plus 17. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish this equation equals 5. So you see, what I've done is this thing right here is y. I just dropped it in. Now it's a solve problem. 2x minus 3 times 3x, that's minus 9x, minus 3 times 17, that's 50. I want to make sure. -3 times 17, yep, -51 is equal to 5. Alright. I'm going to join these two together. They're x's, so that's -7x minus 51 equals 5. I'm going to take the 51 and put it over here. It's a positive 51 when we do it. -7x equals 56. And then I divide both sides. And I get -8. -7, x equals -8. Just checking to make sure. How do I find y? Well, I just take my x equals -8 and come drop it right back in there, don't I? Y equals 3. Right? Instead of writing x, I'm going to write -8 plus 17. Y equals -24 plus 17, and that's going to be y equal to -7. The answer to a system is a point, so my answer needs to look like this. -8 is the x, that's the y. Right, there's 3 basic substitution problems. I hope that helps you.